My name is Troy Skubitz. I'm the host for this half-an-hour talk show, okay? And we have a great show, first of all. The show's about Bonanza. Bonanza, everybody remember Bonanza? We have the largest collector of Bonanza things, so we have a lot of great stuff here, I gotta tell you. But before we look at it, let's say hello to our doorman, Scott Summers. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Troy.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. You've been on the show so many times before, but in different capacities.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. You're a guest one day, you're a doorman the next.
Jack of all trades.
That's right. The last of a good dying breed here.
Yeah.
He says, I'll do anything for the show. So how's it going?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, good.
All right.
You manage a band.
Yes.
And it's what type of band?
It's a jazz gospel group.
A jazz gospel, and they're going to come as guests, which I'm really excited about.
They'll be here in June.
In June, coming up in June.
It's going to be a hot show, guys.
It will be a hot show. Yeah. Are you excited?
I'm real excited. They're excited, too.
Yeah. Do they play? Don't say where because we can't plug, but they play around
Tacoma and Seattle.
So all in the major cities here.
Yeah, in this area, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. How long have they been together?
They've been together now for about 6 years, actually.
For 6 years?
Yeah, they're two set of brothers, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're real talent. So it's kind of like the Osmonds meet the Jacksons.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Musical talent. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, they're family. Don't. Anyway, but we have a great show. Were you a big Bonanza fan?
Yeah, Toss was my favorite.
You loved Toss?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you remember from Bonanza growing up?
Let's see. The Ponderosa, I always wish I had a place like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all did, don't you think? And so, did you ever like pretend you were Little Joe or any of these?
I did pretend I was Hoss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm Hoss." Well, you know.
I did have a pony too. His name was Baldy.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Did he really have a horse?
I had a horse named Baldy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to ride on my Ponderosa.
Well, there you go. This show may be just a little too close to you, I'm afraid.
Right.
Anyway, are we almost ready for the show? Go back to the door and don't let her guess him because first we need to meet the panelists.
Okay.
Okay.
All
so thank you, Scott. Thank you very much. All right. The show is called Panel Talk, and part of the show is we have a panel of people who are going to interview the guests as soon as I'm done with them. So first of all, we have Mr. Blake. Go ahead, say the last name.
Grothaus.
Grothaus. So hi, Blake. He claps for himself. Isn't that adorable?
Nobody else will.
Welcome to the show. Blake, tell everyone what you do.
Computer stuff.
Computer, so you're a smart guy.
Fake it well.
You fake it well, huh? Yeah. So what type of computer? Computer what?
PCs and mainframes.
So you work on them?
I can work on them. Mostly I type on them.
You type on them, okay. So specifically you do what? Typing what kind of stuff? See government secrets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real estate information.
Oh, real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, so you work for a real estate agent?
No.
Agency?
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
No, we want to know, and we're not starting the show until you tell us.
Okay, I work for a computer information system which takes real estate information and then we sell it to realtors.
Really?
Yeah.
Who cares? Okay, moving on to Fred. Moving on to Fred. Just kidding. I'm glad you're here, Blake.
Well, thank you.
Moving on, Fred. We have Fred Swanstrom, who's been on the show a lot of times too. Fred used to be our director, and he's remodeling his house. He's very clever.
I'm almost done. Almost 5 years.
Finished.
5 years into it.
Yeah, because you've done the bathrooms and you've done the kitchen. I mean, you've done it from
every room from ground up.
Ground up, and it looks a million times better. Yeah,
It does.
Yeah, and you work for Boeing. Yeah, and how's it going?
It's a job.
Yeah, it's not a career, huh? It's a job.
It could be a career, but right now it's a job.
Yeah, not. It used to be a career.
Maybe when I was a naive person in college.
When you were fresh. Anyway, yeah. So things are going well there?
Yeah.
You're in what capacity do you work for Boeing?
I'm a manufacturing engineer down at the composite center for the 777.
Oh, okay. And how's that going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good, yeah. It's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And next to you is your wife, Stephanie Swanstrom. So hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
And Stephanie, real quickly, for those who haven't seen you before, what do you do? Tell everyone.
I'm mostly just Fred's wife.
You're mostly Fred's wife?
Yeah, and I took tips from your other show, and so now I'm gonna start doing my hair before he comes home from work, and then I'll like clean up really quick so that he can just come home to a haven and a nice friendly smile, and I'll like wear a little dress when he
and a ribbon in your hair.
Ribbon in my hair.
That's right.
Yes.
We need to explain that because a couple shows back, I'm going to get letters, here we go. A couple shows back, we were making fun of a home economics book that was printed in the 50s, and it told what the wife's role was in the house, and that she should only be prepared for her man, et cetera, and essentially the home was, he was the center of her universe, and that was it, right?
Right.
But we were laughing at that. Because we know that's not how it goes, right? Okay.
And that's
Although
the
I
problem
wouldn't,
with America.
that's what, yeah. And Fred says that's the problem with America today. So, if you'd like to send any comments to Fred Swanstrom, look him up in the book. Okay. Because I got in trouble for giving an address on another show. Okay, so here we go. Are you guys ready to meet our guest?
We're ready.
We have a big-time Bonanza guy, but before we let him in, I want to read something. I have the complete directory to primetime TV shows right here, okay? So before we let him in, we have Bonanza, the big-time show, 1959 to 1973. It lasted 14 seasons, and with an incredible cast of characters who are, what are they doing now? They're all dead. So because they couldn't be on the show, we have a great person who's representing the show with a bunch of terrific stuff. So please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Tomasek. Hello, Tom. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Please, mic up. Sit down.
Gonna fight with me.
We have the best guest on the show. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Now, you love Bonanza.
I love Bonanza.
You love Bonanza.
I do. You can honestly say that. I feel sorry for anyone who hasn't seen the show.
Really?
That's how much I love it.
Well, there are a lot of people who are younger, and you don't see a lot of reruns anymore.
Well, late at night, you have to hit it late at night. They're still on.
Still on.
They're out there.
They're out there, but you got to look for them.
That's right.
And you have to take no-dose to watch them.
They're late.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so you have a lot of terrific stuff. We'll look at that in a minute. But before we get started, tell me, how old were you when the show first started? Were you even born?
Actually, I wasn't, because it started in 1959.
That's right.
And I was born in 1960. Okay. So I missed it by a year.
And I bet you weren't a great audience in the early
I might have been
years.
conceived though in '59. So actually, I guess I was around.
Probably when it first telecast.
That's right.
They heard your parents heard dun 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 dun.
So that is a possibility. So I was around there the whole time.
It's mood music.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and so when the show started then, and how long it ran for 14 seasons, like I said.
Right. It ended. Well, actually, when Haas had died, he died in 1973 or 72, I believe, right before the 73 season, and so basically he was like the heart and soul of the show. And so after he had passed away, they tried to pull it off for one more year, but without him, I think it just suffered from ratings. Plus, it had been on so long, and westerns weren't big anymore. So
yeah,
it finally ended.
Well, in the 60s, it was huge. It was like in the top 20, there were probably 10 shows that were all westerns.
Very huge. Yeah. Yes. The height of it, the 50s, of course, Gunsmoke and Bonanza were the two longest running shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the first color.
Yes, 59. They started out in color, not in black and white.
That's right. So it was the first color show on NBC.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the characters, there were so many different types of characters, and the casting was brilliant. Who was your favorite?
Actually, I liked Haas.
You liked Haas?
Yeah, I liked Haas most of all. Gentle nature, big guy, very defensive, just seemed like an all-around nice guy.
Yeah. So you liked him. Did you look at one of the characters and say, oh, I want to be growing up, oh, I want to be, I don't know, Little Joe, I want to be Adam, I want to be, who did you?
I would like to have had the sex appeal of Little Joe, the strength of Haas, brains of Adam, and I guess Ben had the wisdom, so I guess a combination of all four.
All of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't really single one out.
Okay. Now, I thought it would be real cute and clever. I did a little studying on the show.
All right.
Okay, and we're going to see how well you know Bonanza. Okay, so I made some questions. So here we go.
This could be trouble.
That's right. Are you ready for a Bonanza quiz?
Sure.
Okay, who wrote the theme song?
The theme song was Rose, William Rose.
No.
Try that one more time.
Okay.
Just a second here. The theme song.
Oh, he's cheating now. I'll just tell you, it was Jay Livingston and Ray Evans, okay?
I thought so.
No, you...
That's what I thought.
Okay. Which state and city was Bonanza set in?
Okay. The state was Nevada.
And the city?
And Virginia City.
You got it! He won one! Good job. Okay. What was the time period for Bonanza?
Okay, it was after the Civil War, late 1800s.
Okay.
Right when the silver rush hit, 1880s.
Okay.
Close enough.
It was close enough. I knew it was a little bit earlier.
Okay.
According to this book.
Well,
okay. Well, who was the first original cast member to pass away?
Well, that was Dan Blocker, which is Haas.
Haas.
Right.
And what happened? What happened to Haas?
Well, he went in the hospital for
Yeah.
it was a gallbladder, and so anyway, he just had a gallbladder surgery, and everything went well. He's ready to return, and he had a blood clot that went to his brain, and that's what actually killed him.
So it was unexpected.
The surgery, right? It was unexpected. The surgery went well. He was recovering, and suffered a clot, and that's what killed him.
And how did they explain it on the show?
Actually, after they aired an episode and didn't really touch upon it, and then afterwards, one of the characters talked about the death of Haas, and Ben would always make comments in the later episodes. I know what it's like to lose a son, and that's how they.
So they wrote.
They did make a tribute, and then they just kind of mentioned it.
Okay.
But
and then what happened? Who left? Who left the series during the show?
that was Pernell Roberts,
Who was Trapper John, MD, right?
He became Trapper John, MD. Towards the end, okay, he left the show in 1966. Actually, he had originally signed a 5-year contract, and they bullied him into sticking around 1 extra year. And he was basically toward the end. He didn't get along with the cast members. He was tough to.
Really?
He was temperamental. They didn't enjoy him. He didn't enjoy them or the show. In fact, this is one of the dolls that they came out with.
Okay.
In 1966, they produced these dolls, and they began production with Adam, the Adam doll. However, Pernell Roberts had left the series, and the dolls were made, so they painted a mustache on him, and they called him the Outlaw.
So Adam.
So I don't know if you can see
Adam
that,
screwed himself out of a doll.
out of royalties. He's not. It's not the Adam doll. It's the Outlaw.
Well, that's what he gets.
That'll teach him.
Okay, let's see what else I had here. True or false? All of Ben Cartwright's children had different mothers.
That's well. Okay, it's not as bad as it sounds.
There's a lot of gasping in the audience here.
Okay. Yes, that is true. Okay,
he
now
slept around, didn't he?
Well, now no. Now Ben was indeed a
He's
stud.
protecting him. It was a show.
Ben was a ladies' man, no doubt. However, all his wives had died.
All his wives died.
Right. So, although I'm not sure about this, but I believe he was faithful to each and every wife.
Okay.
I don't believe he catted around.
So they were widowed before he met the next one.
Exactly.
Okay. And how did they die? Did they explain the deaths? They just showed up on the lake.
Haas's mother was actually killed by Indians.
Oh no.
Yes. Haas's mother was killed by she was a Swedish woman, a big woman, as might be expected. Yes, a very big woman. I'm not sure about Adam's mother. She was from New England, and I don't know how she passed away. And
In a trough, so
that's a possibility.
Okay.
And little Joe's mom was from New Orleans, and actually, it had been Ben's best friend. He was going to marry this woman, and so his friend had actually saved Ben's life in a fight and was killed. And so Ben, he didn't steal his woman. He felt sorry for her, and he married this woman, and they had little Joe, and I'm not sure how she died. So I guess that doesn't answer the question.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
I know one.
Okay, here. Okay. Why weren't? No, this is the most important question, I think. Why weren't there any women on the show? There were no regular women.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I think the Ponderosa was kind of like an all-men's club. You know, the women could visit but not stay. They often had women visitors, but that's interesting. They
never kept them.
Well, the boys did have girlfriends, but they either
They were
died or fell out of love with them.
That's right.
Well, yeah, that's an excellent question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of mine, huh? Okay. Now, what night? Okay, this is the big one. What night and time was the show on for the greater part of its run? And what network?
Okay, NBC was the network.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
and
on.
you know, I had a feeling this would come about, and I believe it's Monday nights. Sunday night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
From?
Okay, prime time. I will say 7:30 to
9 to 10. So what were you doing up as a little kid between 9 and 10? That's what I want to know. Okay. Now we don't have a lot of time, but I want to look at this stuff. First of all, you already mentioned the dolls.
Okay.
And who is this one? This is
That's Haas. That's Haas. American character, 1966.
So can we get a shot of Haas?
And
Okay.
it came with little accessories.
A little accessory, a gun,
A gun.
and
a hat.
condoms. No.
No, I don't believe so.
No. Okay. And then what else do we have? And it comes in a casket. Wasn't that? Those are actual things. Okay. And then you have a little book here, Killer Lion, Bonanza
Killer Lion book, yes. They actually produced quite a few books, and that's one of many.
Okay. And then we have a TV guide. Were they on several TV
I should
guides?
have reviewed that before you asked me that question. What's that?
Were they on several covers?
Oh, yes, quite a few covers.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a sample there. We have, what do we have here? What is this?
Well, that's the board game that was actually played on the Ponderosa, as you can see right there, as it says there.
That's right.
It's
and theirs came in this box too.
1964 board game, and Adam still hadn't left the series, and as you can see, it looks like Haas may be cheating here. Looks like he's up to something.
That's terrible. And then we have a coloring book.
Coloring book that has never been colored, and I was pretty happy to find that.
That's very big. Okay, where do you find some of these things? When did you first start
I
collecting?
actually, and that's why I'm not a Bonanza authority as of yet with all those questions, I actually started 3 years ago.
Really? That's it, huh?
A friend of mine he woke me up late at night, said, "This is the greatest show," and set me down, and I reviewed Bonanza, and he used to go, a former roommate of mine used to go to the antique shows, antique stores, thrift stores all the time. And so at first it started out, I found a cup, was actually the first thing I bought, and it was kind of funny at first, and then all of a sudden
It just moved from there.
And
And as far as you know, you have the largest collection of Bonanza.
I have not seen a bigger collection.
Okay, let's move on to the panelists, okay?
Okay.
And as I'm moving over, I'm also curious, are there any other television shows that you're real hot on?
Oh, there are, actually. I enjoyed a Batman and the Green Hornet.
Batman and the
Those are
Green
two
Hornet.
Totally unrelated to the Western Bonanza.
Yeah. But same era, though.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with Blake. Blake, do you have a question for Tom?
Yes, I understand that Haas was quite the studly man, but wasn't he once in a bunny suit?
Well, that is true. He did it for a woman who was running an orphanage, and she asked him if he would put on the suit, and unbeknownst to Haas, it was a bunny suit, and he did put on the bunny suit and deliver Easter eggs for these poor orphan kids.
Was there a gunfight involved?
Actually, there wasn't a gunfight involved, but he did hook up with some outlaws who were actually attacking his brother, and Haas was unarmed, being in a bunny suit, and threw eggs at them.
Which brother was it?
That was little Joe he was defending.
Okay, go ahead, Fred. Do you have a question?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. This really isn't my question. This is Eric's question. He's not on the panel, so I'm going to ask it for him. Do the women refer to you as Little Haas, or Little Joe, or Big Haas?
That's an excellent question. But let's see. I haven't had a woman friend. Let's see, 73. So that would be 22 years. And I think at that time it was Little Joe, but I'm not sure.
Okay. That was more information than we needed to know. Moving on. Stephanie, go ahead.
I need you to explain the Hopsing ponytail thing to me.
The Hopsing ponytail. Well, as I understand it from the episode I viewed, Hopsing had his tail cut off, and the tail was honor. And so he came back all upset at the Ponderosa, and Little Joe finally got out of him what was wrong, and he went back to the person who had chopped the tail off, and the person had actually put it on his wall like a trophy. And so Little Joe fought with this person, got the tail back, and unfortunately this person was killed, and Little Joe was naturally blamed. But as all Bonanza episodes turn out, Little Joe was cleared, Hopsing got his tail back, and everything worked out just great.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I need a tissue. Okay, go ahead, Blake.
And for those of the people that don't really watch Bonanza, Hopsing was?
Hopsing was the cook, and an excellent cook.
Okay.
Okay, Fred.
Pretty lame. I have a very philosophical question here.
All right.
both of us being children of the 60s, I think that the television shows that we watched back then sort of formed the human beings that we have become. And different shows, I think, taught you different things. And two of my favorite shows on, but right around the same era, was Wild Wild West and Bonanza. And the Wild Wild West taught me that midgets are evil, and Bonanza taught me that the little brother always gets the women. What did those two shows teach you?
Actually, Bonanza is a great family show as far as values. So Bonanza taught me how to live properly, and in the event that I ever have any children, a good spanking will straighten that out. Okay, so and I think that's one thing we're getting away from. So a good spanking, and we'd have less crime. And as far as Wild Wild West, I believe midgets are evil. That's what I got.
And again, we're going to get the letters. I just know it. I didn't say anything. Okay, Stephanie, go ahead, Steph.
Where were you the day Dan Blocker died?
Oh, I remember that really well. The day Dan Blocker died, I was out with some friends playing foosball, and we got the news, and actually, I didn't know who Dan Blocker was at the time until an actor, and I came home and said, Dan Blocker just died, Mom, Dad, who was Dan Blocker? And then they explained Haas to me, and then it finally hit me.
Yeah.
And that was pretty tough to take.
It was a serious day for everyone.
Yeah, he was really mourned. I mean,
And where were you on the same vein? Where were you when Michael Landon died?
Michael Landon, actually, I don't remember where I was at, but I remember seeing him on the Johnny Carson show when he was suffering from his cancer.
Yes.
And it was just amazing because he looked very healthy, a very positive attitude. He said he was going to lick it, and I believe it was just 2 months afterwards. It was a very short time afterwards that he died, and pretty surprised by that. But as far as where I was at, I really don't remember.
Had you ever met any of the cast members?
Actually, I went to the Rose Bowl parade when the Huskies and Michigan were involved with it several years ago. And this was prior to my big involvement with Bonanza. But the Grand Marshal at the time was Lauren Green.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I didn't personally meet him, but I do have his picture. I was taking pictures of all the floats, so I do have a picture of Lauren Green.
Well, there.
Close.
Go ahead, Blake.
So you're a very big fan of the new the old Bonanza. How about the new Bonanza? How do you feel about that one?
I actually watched the first movie that they made, and that has several of the stars' sons in the picture. And actually, Michael Landon's daughter was in it, too. And the first show I thought was pretty pathetic, and the second show, Leonard Nimoy was in the second movie, and actually that was okay. I wouldn't say it was good. I think that'd be too generous, but it was better.
Uh-oh, a thumbs down over here. Fred, do you have a question?
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more of your collection here. What's your prized possession out of all the pieces that you have here, and what's the elusive piece that you don't have yet?
Okay, my prized possession, actually there are two. This gun set is one. It has the rifle, the holster, and it's still sealed, which is pretty hard to find. So
Tilt it for the camera, just tilt it down.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I found this at a toy show in Kent, and so this is one. But my favorite.
Did you pay this money for it? I see a price tag on there. Wow. Did you pay that?
Actually, I talked down a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, it was pretty expensive.
So that's a gem, yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite is the Ponderosa Christmas album. And they had eluded me for so long, and then to get it, and then to actually play it this Christmas.
Do they sing on it?
Oh yes, they sing Christmas carols. They tell stories. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's very entertaining.
It must have been a very special Christmas for you this year.
It was. Actually, when I found that, I was very happy. I found it in July, though, so I had to wait a few months before I could really get into the spirit of it. And the piece that has eluded me, and it's the Bandit doll. I have yet to find the Bandit doll by Pernell Roberts, and if anyone's watching the show and wants to sell the Bandit doll, I would be very interested.
Get in touch with Panel Talk. Yeah. Okay, Stephanie.
I don't have a question.
You don't have anything?
Okay, my question is, will you tape a couple episodes and bring them over to my house?
I would be glad to, Stephanie. Only Fred's invited, too.
Blake, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. How many different languages and nationalities is Bonanza broadcast in? Do you know?
Actually, I don't know, but I know it's quite a few. In fact, I have some friends of mine from Germany were visiting, and they brought over a Bonanza episode taped in German, so that was pretty entertaining for me since I don't speak any German. But I don't know, Blake, a lot. Okay, that's all I know.
Okay, Fred.
In your hours that you spend in collecting this, do you ever get very frustrated and just say, screw it, I'm going to go for Brady Bunch now?
There comes a time when you look, you go to the thrift stores, you go to the antique stores, you go to shows, and like the Bandit doll, it's eluded me, and it is frustrating. And so I was thinking of perhaps Get Smart material, but not just yet. I'm still on a roll with Bonanza.
Okay, one final question, Stephanie.
Does Bonanza mean anything, or is it just a name?
Bonanza?
Yeah.
Oh, a bonanza is, of course it means something. Look it up.
So what you're saying is you don't know.
A bonanza is like a good luck, a fortune, a bonanza. I found a bonanza, a prize.
Okay. Okay, do we accept that answer? All right. All right. Anybody else? One last question. We have time. Do we have time?
I'd like to know.
Yes.
You have a couple of those dolls. Have you ever gotten kind of the shaft when you got one of those dolls? Or?
I've been known to pay a little steep for those dolls.
Yeah, but it means a lot to you, and you enjoy it.
I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then you're willing to pay the price.
Sure.
It's nothing.
Sure. Yeah.
Next to happiness.
But you have a lot more stuff at home.
I do. Yeah.
And this is just a sampling of it, and it was fun to see it. It was fun to walk back onto the Ponderosa with you. So thank you very much for being our guest. It's terrific. Let's thank our panelists here. We have Blake. Blake, say the last name again. Grothaus.
Close enough.
Okay. Fred Swanstrom. Stephanie Swanstrom. Let's thank our doorman, Scott Summers. Thank you, thank you. I also want to say the opening theme song was written by Jesse Weston. Terrific. And again, thank you, Tom. And that's the end of the show. Thank you. Thanks, folks. Come on out.